Welcome, Eva Pagneux. Did I pronounce your name okay?
Yes. Thank you for having me.
Eva, welcome to the show. Now, I understand you are from the DeepRacer team. Can you give a quick introduction to everybody who's watching, and then tell us about the feature launch that we're talking about today?
Of course. Today we're talking about the DeepRacer Live new feature we're adding to the DeepRacer family of features. This enables to host a virtual live race in AWS console so that anyone from anywhere can enjoy DeepRacer and have fun with their friends and colleagues.
Okay, so DeepRacer Live, is that what it sounds like? So I can run a virtual DeepRacer event? How does that work?
Yes, that's a very good question. So DeepRacer Live is a community race feature that enables anyone from anywhere to host a virtual race in real time, which means that you can gather your crew, gather all your friends online, and race one after each other in an interactive manner. Bring your own machine learning model and get your best time on the leaderboard. And the best part of it, I want to add, is that you can actually not only race together, but also broadcast live, either to your private audience or live on Twitch like we're doing now.
Awesome. Now it occurs to me that there might be some people tuning in who aren't fully familiar with DeepRacer. Can we take a step back and give those people an overview? What's DeepRacer and who should pay attention?
Absolutely. DeepRacer is the fastest way to get started with machine learning by going hands-on learning while having fun. There are 4 components to DeepRacer. The first one is a car. This is the DeepRacer car. It's a 1/18th scale autonomous RC car that is driven by reinforcement learning. The second component is a 3D virtual simulator in the AWS console, which enables to train and evaluate your machine learning models. Once you have your machine learning models, you want to race. And we created the AWS DeepRacer League, the world's first global autonomous racing league, to enable racers from all over the world, more than 115 countries, to participate and win prizes. And the last component of it is the community racing tools bucket, where anyone can actually create and set up their own race from a small group to thousands of people.
So this is really new to me. I don't know very much about DeepRacer, and I don't currently use it. Who's the audience for this? Who would want to be doing racing?
It's a very good question. Actually, DeepRacer is for anyone. It's actually for everyone interested in learning about machine learning. There's no education prerequisite, no machine learning experience required. It's really accessible to anyone. So a few examples, we've had large enterprise customers setting up DeepRacer events to introduce their employees to machine learning and bring the concept of machine learning, innovation, and how they can solve their business problems using machine learning by introducing DeepRacer. We've also seen universities and student organizations including DeepRacer in curriculums. And really, anyone simply curious about machine learning can get started easily with nothing more than just a computer or a connected device. So it's been a really powerful tool for anyone to grow their machine learning school. A few examples that I can give are, for example, AWS Educate hosted first women's league in India with 17,000 registrants, more than 400 competitors trained and submitted a model to the leaderboard, and they actually hosted the finals using the DeepRacer Live feature. They were early testers of the feature in the console. Another example is Kansas University, under the guidance of Dr. Williams, who integrated DeepRacer in their AI ethics course for undergrads to teach students machine learning fundamentals while having fun. And on the enterprise front, now heading into their third year of DeepRacer competition, AWS partner Accenture, who's also a sponsor of the summits, the DeepRacer League at Summits, hosted a global league with more than 2,000 employees across the world to engage with machine learning.
That sounds like a lot of participation in the league, a lot of uptake, a lot of communities getting started around the DeepRacer League. What do you think it is that makes DeepRacer so popular?
There are a few points that make DeepRacer so popular. First one is how accessible and interactive it is. It is designed to be hands-on and fun. So within your first 2 hours on using DeepRacer, you'll be able to create, train, and race your first model, which sounds kind of crazy, but that's what we are here for, to demystify machine learning and give you the basics, get you started hands-on, and you will learn by doing. This is really at the core of DeepRacer and definitely part of the success. Anyone can do it and can do it quickly. Additionally, we've found that the ability to compete with yourself, once you've created your model and see the time on the leaderboard, you want to improve, of course. So you're racing against yourself, you're racing against your friends, your colleagues. And this has proven to be actually pretty addictive. And that's not me saying it, that's customers saying it. And all these people competing have actually created an amazing community worldwide, from Udacity students that just joined the program to multi-year pro racers. They all meet on the Slack channel that was created by the community. It now has more than 27,000 members on the channel, and they're there to support each other, share tips and tricks, organize events. It's absolutely awesome to see this community come together. And finally, one thing that I think also contributed to DeepRacer's success that we cannot do as much today is the in-person racing events. So DeepRacer was present in the AWS summits. So we used to host live races. Enterprise customers hosted their live races as well. And it was truly amazing because people loved standing around the track, talking about their strategy that they use for their model, exchanging with other teams. And there's really a good feeling about, creating your model virtually and then porting it onto this tiny car. And then you don't do anything. The car drives itself. It's kind of magical. And that's an experience that we've noticed people loved, which is also why we're bringing the live experience to the virtual world now.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about DeepRacer Live. What is it, and what problem is it solving?
Yeah, so before DeepRacer Live, we basically had two options. One was to race a physical car on a physical track, and bring people together on a race day, kind of like an F1 event, right? And the other option was to race virtually, where each racer would submit asynchronously their model to a leaderboard and then come back later to see how they perform, how their standings has evolved. So this kind of created a disconnected experience. And so when the pandemic hit the world, all the fun events in person were postponed indefinitely. And so the excitement was kind of down because it really contributed to the success of DeepRacer. And one of our principal solution architects imagined an application, a simulation application, where the models would be evaluated in real time in the 3D simulation environment. So Don Barber created his application, set up time calls with his customers to enable them to all gather again and race virtually. And as remote work just became the new normal, we decided that we were going to bring this feature into the console. That's how DeepRacer Live came to life. So it's really, we wanted to make it really easy to host an event. So for the organizer, it's, you can create your event within 3 minutes. I will quickly show you during the demo. You can broadcast it live, not only to your folks participating, but on Twitch, we provide you templates in the documentation and a whole set of tools to support you. And as a racer, it's as simple as creating a model and clicking to race.
That sounds great. Quick question from, I believe, LinkedIn here. What's the best way to get started with DeepRacer League?
The best way to get started with DeepRacer League is to log on to awsdeepracer.com or go to the console, create your first model. And once again, it only takes, let's say, 2 hours. It takes 2 hours to make a basic model that runs in the league, and you're off to the races.
Okay. Well, yeah.
Do you need one of the physical cars to get started?
You actually do not. So you can purchase a car and load your model. All the models that you will develop in the console will be able to be ported without any tweaking to the car and race it on a physical track, but it's not necessary to participate in the DeepRacer League.
So is there, you said you don't need a card, but does racing in the virtual league cost anything? Is there any sort of catch to participating in the leagues at all?
There is no catch. There is no catch to participate in the DeepRacer League. It is free to submit your model. It is free to participate in a DeepRacer Live event. It is free to organize a DeepRacer Live event. It's free to stream your live event. The only item that you will be charged for is the training of the model. And we offer a free tier of 10 hours for everyone to get started for free to create a few first models.
So you mentioned that you don't, to get started, you don't actually need the physical car. Can you talk about what interaction does DeepRacer Live have with the actual the physical vehicles?
That's a good question. So you don't need a car. However, we have taken the physics of the real world and the physics of the car into your virtual car. So you basically have a virtual replica of your physical car in your garage that implements all the same constraints.
That's interesting. Just trying to get as close as possible to that in-person experience, I see.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of curious how you mentioned you can use DeepRacer Live to host one of these events. You can stream it. You can watch other people compete. You can interact. How does this whole solution work? How does it fit together?
It's very simple. Just log into the console, and I'll be happy to show you in the demo. You, as an organizer, you want to create a race and invite your racers by sharing a link, and you also want to set up that event. So either you gather everybody in a room or a chime call. When it's time to race, every racer will submit their model. As the organizer, you will set up the broadcast and start the race. That's simple.
So how does this fit into the DeepRacer League? Do I actually need to be in a league to use DeepRacer Live?
You don't. It's a community race feature, so no one needs to race in the league to be able to use it. You can create and host your own race whenever you want. However, we in the DeepRacer League use the feature of Live to run the pro finale every month that we broadcast on Twitch. So, and we actually started we debuted this feature back at ReInvent for the knockouts round of the championship of the DeepRacer League. And with the success from the feedback that we received from the 112 racers, we decided that we were going to bring it to more racers, brought it to the league, and now the top 16 pros compete every month. The top 3 winners of the live race get a trip to ReInvent to compete in the championship.
Oh yes. Speaking of reInvent, what's going on with DeepRacer at reInvent this year? Can you give us more? Give us the
Yeah,
scoop.
we're really excited to go back to Las Vegas for reInvent, because this is really the culmination of a whole season of racing for all DeepRacer participants. And this year, the 24 fastest pros, so the top 3 of every month of the season, will go and fly to Vegas to compete in the championship. We'll also have the 100 competitors from the 2020 season that will be flying out for a chance to qualify in a wildcard race for the Championship Cup. And then anyone who attends reInvent 2021 will have the opportunity to compete in the wildcard race to secure a spot in the Championship Cup. So this should be an exciting reInvent again. And something we haven't announced anywhere else before, so it's like the scoop. We're super excited to share that the DeepRacer Championship Cup this year will use both the physical tracks, like for anyone who's been to reInvent before in Vegas and seen DeepRacer, we'll still have the tracks, but we'll also include some live virtual in-person races.
Excellent. Okay, so before we get to a demo, are there any additional points that you'd like to bring up?
Yes, of course. If you don't stop me, I won't stop. But the critical point, I think, for anyone that's new to machine learning and new to DeepRacer, I would recommend to join the amazing community, because we have thousands of racers from all over the world that have different skills and different ambitions, different goals, and they're all there supporting each other and learning. It's truly amazing. So if you're starting with machine learning, I would recommend you to start there. It's called deepracing.io. And yeah, if you're ready to hit the road, just go to the DeepRacer console and start your first model.
Yeah, and we'll get a link to join the community into the chat as well for you.
Awesome, thank you.
Perfect. Now, is there any, I know we have the link to the community, we have links to getting started. Is there any sort of, any additional help we can offer to people who are just brand new to the community and just really getting into it?
There are tutorials that we can link to, but we actually, since DeepRacer is made for folks that are new to machine learning and to the concept, we designed the console to be guided and easy to get started. So we provide sample models. We give you easy steps to get started so that you don't feel overwhelmed with machine learning stuff.
All right. Well, I'm excited to see the demo. Jenna, any last thoughts, questions before we switch over?
I'm looking forward to seeing this too. Let's go.
Okay.
Awesome.
Eva, stage is yours. Take it away.
So we have prepared 2 demos. The first one I want to show you is actually going into creating a DeepRacer event. So you'll head over the console, go to the community races. You can also go from up here in the banner. You'll head to create race. You'll select the competition format called live, and then choose a race type between time trial, object avoidance, and head to bot. Here you want to go time trial because this is the simplest format, and you just want to get started here. Now you want to give a name to the racing event. So let's call it AWS What's Next. The next thing you want to do is set the date for your live event. So you want to set a date in the future. Make sure you set a time. It automatically calculates your region. If you want to, you can go into race customizations. You don't have to, but here I want to select the simplest track, the ReInvent 2018 track, but you can actually choose from our catalog, extensive catalog. You want to add a little description of the racing event for your attendees to know what they're joining when they receive the link. The time allowed per racer is how long does the racer have on the track to make their best time. The off-track penalty, we recommend 3 seconds, and off you go. This is a summary of the race. If it all looks good, just hit submit. Now you have the link to invite the racers. As I mentioned earlier, you can just copy it and paste it into like your Slack channel and tell everyone, hey, join my race. When you're ready, you have copied the link, just go ahead and click done. You'll land on your race event page with the leaderboard, the list of the racers, and of course the details of your race. Now you want to go into community races and you'll manage your race from this page. Here you have your details, live streaming best practices. As we mentioned, you can click your model entries to close or open the model entry window. You can view the broadcast mode, which I'll get into more details when we move to the broadcast demo. Here you'll go into invitation, and we have actually crafted an invitation for your event that you can copy and paste into an email. It includes the time, the link to your race. So just copy it and paste it into your emails to send to all your invitees. And that is it. You've created your race. The next demo I want to show you is how to set up your OBS and how to stream live on Twitch. So for this, you'll need 2 screens. And there are a few prerequisites before you get started. The first one is you need a Twitch account because you'll need a streaming key from Twitch. The second one is you'll need to download OBS software, which is completely free, that enables you to make the adjustments that we're going to show today. And then you can find all the links to those systems, and we provide some templates for you to make it very easy to stream high quality shows to your audience. So just go ahead and in the documentation, developer documentation, and download. Now we're back into OBS, and the first thing you want to do is...
Hey, Eva? Sorry to jump in here. On the screen, I still see the invitation template from the last demo. Are you showing us something different?
I am showing something different. Let me... So you're still on the invitation. Let me see how to transform that. Let me stop and go back. Sorry about that. Share. Okay. So I will start over.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Here. Let me go back here. Window. Can you see now?
I can, yeah. It looks like a pretty wide video. Is that what you intended to show?
Yes, because you want to have 2 screens, because here I'm going to play the role of the broadcaster and the event organizer. So you want to have those 2 views as the broadcaster. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Cool. So here you have OBS on the left and the documentation on the right, where you can scroll through the documentation to find not only the instructions, but also all the templates that will make it cool. So you can go ahead and download these. Now switching to OBS, your scene is here built and we want to bring in content for it. So the first thing to do is to bring a window capture, and we'll call it broadcaster view. Okay. And you want to bring in your Firefox window into your view. There you go. Let's switch over to the broadcaster view on this side. Then the next thing you want to do is to add templates downloaded from the documentation. We'll call it commentator view. And that will add the image of your template, as you can see here. Okay, so you'll need to align. That requires a little bit of tweaking, but what you'll want to do is align the leaderboard first line and the top white block with the template. It's okay if the video doesn't fit right away because it will once we kick off the racers. So this is, yeah, let's make it better. Yeah. So this is a screen without any stream of video. So you can put your logo in the top right corner here or an image, you choose. But if you want to bring some video stream from a commentator or organizer, just pick the other template and you'll see it there. Now we're ready. We're ready to go. So as the organizer of the race, you want to fly over to the DeepRacer console and organize. This is the broadcaster view. It's a clean view, but as the organizer, you want to launch the race. So you'll go to the organizer view. You see a bunch of buttons, and here you have your racer. You can launch the racer. It will take a few seconds for the stream to come up once you've launched the racer. And it's totally normal. You may see a slight delay between the racer view and the broadcast view, and that's normal too because the racer has access to a dedicated feed for best responsiveness when racing and controlling the speed. So you now see the racer on both screens. As the racer, you will see that you'll have speed controls, and that doesn't allow you to change the direction. The car is completely driven by reinforcement learning, but we give you the ability to adjust the speed, and this is because customers had this capability in physical events, and so we decided to bring it here too. But that's really limited control compared to a real racing. Now you want to stream. You want to start streaming. So just go into Twitch and start streaming, which we're not doing here because we have our own stream on Twitch, but you'll go here. In the right screen for the racer, you can actually see on the top right corner, the best lap time. You can see the time remaining on the lower corner of the video, your speed, the number of resets, and your current lap time. You'll also see, as the organizer, a whole bunch of features to enable to control the race, like declaring winners, resetting the leaderboard, and closing the race. Any questions?
So you said that just one quick question. You said that
Yeah,
you
of
can
course.
control the individual racer can control the speed of the car, but not the direction of the car. So this is after they've loaded in their model, correct?
Indeed. So each racer, before we start the race, will upload their model or submit their model. And the organizer will launch each racer one after each other. And the only thing they will be able to control is that speed.
I see. But that speed is controllable while they are going for the best lap time, right?
Yes. So you're actually not inputting, I want, 5 meters per second. You're just multiplying the speed of your model. So whatever you have trained your model to go at, you'll only be able to increase a little bit of the speed or decrease it. You won't be able to overwrite whatever the model is programmed to do.
Got it. Yeah.
And then just to be clear, the reason for adding in the speed control is because we also support that on the physical track, right?
Yeah, there's actually no need to do it.
Yeah.
It's really something that people loved.
Okay.
And it kind of gives you a sense of control because
Exactly.
you realize that when you program this model and then you watch it going live and you can't do anything about it, it's almost a little anxiety creating.
Yeah,
It's like, yeah, I made it all myself, but ooh la la, it's going too fast,
Yep.
too fast in the corner. So we enabled that in physical events and people loved it. So we took it in here. There's actually plenty of racers that never use the controls. So it's really up to you.
Okay, nice. That's good to know.
That's awesome. Well, let me take a quick look and see if we have any pending questions in chat here. Doesn't look like it. Eva, I think that brings us to the end of the segment.
Okay, don't forget to join us to watch the pro finale every second Thursday of the month. And I look forward to seeing you on the community.
Yeah, that's right, everybody. Okay, well, end of the segment, end of the show. That was episode 14 of AWS On Air.